I'm very happy now to invite Maria Dutarte from the EUPATI, so that's the European Patient Academy and Transformation for Innovations. Yes, good. Of therapeutic innovation. Yes, so the patients are very important. We heard that this morning, so I'm very much looking forward to your contribution here and your view on this.
Thank you so much. I'm very happy to be here, and happy birthday from another proud child of IMI. We are also 5 years old as a former IMI project. We started our activity in 2012. I've heard from some people that one of the first meetings of EUPATI were actually in this building, so a historical moment. And also the European Patients Forum, a large umbrella organization representing over 80 patient organizations, had a key role in launching our activity. So we are a training academy and a multi-stakeholder non-profit organization today, formally established in the Netherlands. And we want to enhance patient involvement in research. And so we really believe in this collaboration between patients and researchers, and that benefits everyone involved, all the stakeholders involved. And the sort of mechanism for how we want to enhance patient involvement is information, education, and training. And that's where the academy word is really important for us. Our focus has been on the medicines R&D, the full life cycle of how medicines are developed. Here you can see the patient involvement roadmap that was developed in the early stages of EUPATI. We mapped out the entire life cycle of medicines and development, and also the different endpoints where patients can provide their insights. And this particular roadmap is still very much referred to and used in this space. So this full life cycle approach is really important for us, as we believe that patient involvement should be systematic and implemented as early as possible in the process. And we believe that patient involvement is enabled through education that also covers the full life cycle. So we have today materials and trainings that dig deep into each of these areas. And so we provide educational resources and hands-on training to patients, but not only to patients, also to researchers about how to meaningfully involve patients. So for my intervention today, the three main boxes here from the left are the most important. We have a toolbox of materials, which is an open source sort of Wikipedia of medicines R&D, and it's available in 14 languages today, accessed by over 8 million users worldwide. And that is really addressing the general public. And that is therefore also part of our mission to share reliable information on medicines development through this toolbox. Then we have a patient expert training program, which is a 14-month program that takes the learner through the entire life cycle and the roadmap that I just showed. The graduates are called EUPATI Fellows, and they are patient experts from different disease areas. And today we have over 500 EUPATI Fellows. And then we have the so-called stakeholder education through our learning lab, which is these workshops for people like you, researchers, but also people from industry, about what it means to meaningfully involve patients throughout the process. So why am I standing here today? It's because we are at EUPATI now expanding our scope to areas like medical devices, digital health, but now also most recently we are exploring the vaccines area. We do enter this new space, so I'm also really humbled to be here today, as all of the discussions are really new to me in this space. And we address this area with the full life cycle approach. We are also interested in real-world data, real-world evidence, and what is the patient role in this area. And why is this area also important to us is that we see that patients have an interest, particularly the risk groups, people living with chronic illnesses, and those with limited treatment options, of course. And we see some promises there, of course, that involving citizens and patients can reduce vaccine hesitancy. We've heard about this today through increased awareness and vaccine literacy, but also then once they are involved in the development of vaccines, enhance their relevance and effectiveness. This is what we base our interest in. And we see that access to information and education play a key role, which is of course then aligned with our mission and vision. And I'm very happy that we today have this partnership with VAC4EU. I forced Daniel to shake my hand in front of the photo booth at lunch, also to, we want to celebrate this collaboration as we are learning from each other's worlds. And as one of the collaborative activities, we organized together with Vaccines Europe and also the Active Citizenship Network, also represented here today, a workshop last June. It was organized within the framework of the so-called Patient Engagement Open Forum, which is actually a sustainability action of another IMI project called Paradigm. So it's all about IMI here today. And this workshop was sort of an exploration and collaboration. We were discussing the vaccine life cycle. We talked about the different stakeholders involved and also the concrete activities that civil society organizations and patient organizations can undertake to support vaccines campaigns and research. And so we had different groups in the workshop looking at the different stakeholder groups and their role in this process, their needs, but also what can we do together to enhance the cross-stakeholder collaboration. And to give you some input, I wanted to capture some of the findings from the group that really focused on the citizen and patient organizations. And many of these things have been already discussed today, but just maybe a reminder, a helpful reminder, that citizen and patient organizations can be those who also channel and provide the relevant information that is important for their communities. They can represent their communities. There are community leaders that can be helpful, and also they can advocate for science. And I think we have heard that many times today. But what do these groups need? There's this need to identify ambassadors, of course, and these community champions. The capacity building piece is, of course, very close to my heart as a training organization, and it should be tailored. It should be contextually driven to ensure also the representation. Access to real-world evidence is, of course, important to build trust and counter this misinformation. So we were discussing a lot about the needs of the citizen and community groups as well. And together we can then build bridges between researchers and citizen and patient communities, and I'm therefore also happy to be here today to emphasize that. Again, the identifying the key players in different communities. This is also a good example from the EUPATI Patient Expert Training Program, is that is a very demanding program, and it's not for everyone. But there are these leaders of patient communities that choose to spend that time, invest their time to study, and so that they can also teach others and make sure that there is involvement when relevant from their communities. And of course, then how can we strengthen the cross-stakeholder collaboration is to understand each other's worlds and each other's language. I've heard from many patient experts who have taken our program is that now they can finally speak the researcher language, that they can also translate their insights into a language that relates to a researcher's world, and vice versa. We hope there also to be a dialogue. And so, last but not least, I received this question for all of, I think it was for all of us. What should VAC4EU focus on from now on? And I would encourage there to be inclusion of patient preferences as part of the data collection, and then be part of these efforts to enhance information training, awareness building for citizen and patient groups. Even in the sort of study design phase. I know we are not there yet, and I think this was mentioned by Peter earlier. There's very little patient involvement today in real-world evidence. But I hope that one day we will also have a pool of patients who are well-informed and trained, who can then take part of in the study design, and these studies can be truly co-designed. And then, of course, what we are already doing here is enhancing the multi-stakeholder collaboration that I'm a big believer in, as I have the IMI spirit in my DNA. So these are my key messages, and hope to continue the discussion. Thank you so much.